Welcome to the Daytona Sports Car Series event. 1 hour at Daytona, 24-hour cycle, multi-class event. Choices include the Proto H, P2s and GT3s. We're going to go for the GT3s, picking the BMW. Started off in position 6, getting a pretty good launch off the line, keeping up with everybody else. Coming into turn 1, this is where things become interesting, and interesting they have become. Porsche has had a moment, so has a couple of Proto H cars, to be honest. There's no P2s in this race, nobody wanted to pick it, but it is quite a full lobby. I think there's 18 of us in total, so things do and will become a little bit heated in places. Once we start stretching out, everybody starts finding their feet, things will settle down. Really need the Proto H's to bugger off and get on with what they need to do and not be too tangled up with us. We are much slower than they are. Having a little bit of contact with the Mustang, but thankfully no harm, no foul. Flash has overtaken us to our right hand side, and we have TM Nightshade in our rear view mirror. Plan of attack for this race: we are on hard tyres at the moment. We're going to make these hard tyres last 20 minutes. Pit again for another set of hards, and that will be 2 pit stops, an hour long race if all goes to plan. Hopefully as well the fuel tank in this car is big enough to last 2 stints before we finish off our final stint, or the final 20 minutes of the race. Fingers crossed this all goes to plan. Other people may have a totally different strategy, which is why stressing about cars getting away or going gardening is, thank you, that car actually ghosted, not a concern per se, due to some cars maybe on medium tyres start off the race and do hards after that. You know, everybody is strategizing their own plan of action. Things may change though. You never know what happens during a race. Hopefully we'll catch up to position 4 up ahead. We are just about maxing out the top speed of this car. Very close. I'll get to the end of this corner here. We're going to hit that limiter. There it was, right there. Just about on point. Probably could have done with a few miles per hour more. Not too sure. I think it won't benefit us in the slipstream. But raw pace alone, we should be in a good area. Hopefully this Proto H car will get past us without too much trouble. Come on, bud, get past, get going. You're holding us up here. And I'm holding you up as well because I'm just not as fast as you. Get on that power, let's go. There we go. Thank you very much. Don't be too nervous, I give you space. The guy likes cones. A lot of cones. Does put you on edge though, seeing shenanigans like that, because you know they're in a faster car than you. Within a certain period of time, they're going to come back around and catch up to you. And seeing that at the moment, you know, you don't want to see that in your rearview mirror barreling down at you at 30, 40, 50 miles per hour faster than yourself as you're entering a corner. Yeah. Right, we need to overtake this Red Bull liveried BMW. Try and get away from Just Jay behind. Somehow managed to overtake him on the leaderboard, but not overtake him in person. Yes, we're calculating on distance here rather than position on the track. And also, thank you, Jota, for the contact in a straight line. Really appreciated, and yeah, there wasn't enough space clearly for both of us to manage to make that work. Just saying, having Just Jay really barreling behind us is not ideal, and I think that was kind of the play position 4 was aiming for, but we're going to have him on the inside here. I'm going to try and sneak him off to the right. There we are. Just going to tuck into the left, get that position. Problem is we're going to hit that limiter at any moment, and that's just going to hold us up. Just about there, and there we go. Carried a bit too much speed through there. We played conservative, came out to the side in the right place, to be honest. Cannot grumble at that. Things do come back to haunt us ever so slightly as we enter the bus stop moment, braking. The car to our right decides, do you know what, I'm going to send it through and see if it pays off. Didn't pay off, we came out to the side in one piece. And surprisingly though, I don't think the car behind did get a penalty, not 100% sure. But Just Jay has overtaken La Jota, which gives us a little bit of peace of mind to a certain degree, because now I'm not going to be under violent attack from the car behind. Just under attack from Just Jay. But if we can work together, we can then further get away from La Jota. That is an idea. It would have been kind of nice if Just Jay bumped us along to try and get away from the car behind, but we're going to let them get past and I'm just going to bump them along. Very, very rare, probably less than a handful of times I've ever seen somebody work with somebody else or work with myself to try and get away from another car, you know, by bump drafting, let's say Le Mans or Daytona, Sunset, whatever track it is. Unless it's NASCAR, nobody's bumping anybody along, and it's kind of weird really, because there we go, look at the speed we can both accomplish just by working together. While I will top out on the limiter at any moment, still we're gaining a little bit of time away from the car behind, who has nobody to work with and no slipstream to rebound off. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, we have 15 more minutes of this race remaining. Wow, a little bit of companionship may be nice now and again. Also, you gain trust with another driver, which I think is also very crucial to completing a race, and you can know you can work side by side with them. I mean, it's irrelevant now, they're 4.5 seconds away. Yeah, we have not been all that good on pace. While the nighttime is setting in, it is a beautiful sunset. Really is a nice track to race, and the lights and everything are very distracting, especially a person like myself who gets easily distracted anything that has pretty colours. I mean, look at that wheel, it stands out like a tree. Thing is, our tyres are now on minor wear, which means we have to consider pitting either at the end of this lap or maybe extending it a further lap to gain the better half in the next period. Problem is, you don't want to pit too early and then pretty much struggle for the rest of the race. You're better off struggling in this one stint than you are in the next 2 stints. And I think that might be the best protocol, because we are 43 minutes remaining of this race. We are 30 seconds away from pit stop, and if we extend it one more lap, that adds another 1 minute 45-ish to that time remaining. By the time we pit, we should be at the lower end of 40 minutes remaining of the race as we exit the pit. That is a strategy, that is everything I'm thinking of in my head right now, to do with pit stop rather than doing bus stop. Better than I did. That's probably the best plan actually, extending it for one more lap, because Just Jay has gone into the pits. We have crawled our way up to position 2 as everybody else has also gone to the pits, except for the cars behind, who's probably following what we are doing. Don't get me wrong, LMP up in front has gone into the pits already, but they were so far ahead before we even entered the pits, it's not even funny. We're going to hop in now, get a fresh set of hard tyres, come out the other side. Just Jay's passed us whilst battling with an LMP car. That is not an ideal time to come out the pits where everybody is trying to get past. Oh, sorry, not LMPs, they're Proto H cars. That's my mistake there. Letting Danny R6 get past us. I don't want to be holding up the Proto H cars. Danny R6 goes straight to the back of Just Jay in the BMW, and Just Jay quits the race. And I don't blame him really. He got sent off to oblivion, and that was a really crappy thing to do. The track was wide enough. Coming to a braking zone, there's no reason that you plough into the back of another car. And I think also on top of that as well, the ghosting system fails. What should have happened was Just Jay should have got ghosted, and Danny R6 should have had an increased momentum to visit said wall and not benefit from ploughing into the back of somebody else. And it's a kind of a shame really, because now I've got no one to race against or race with, except for this Porsche I'm catching up on, but I do believe that is a lapped car. I mean, we're 15 laps in, overtaking a blue Porsche. I was trying to get into the slipstream there, buddy. If you don't mind, it'd be much appreciated, but they're staying out of the way, which is fair enough and understandable. They don't want to be holding us up. Thank you ever so much. Lovely bit of driving right there. Like, Jota has been catching up to us somewhat throughout the course of the race, but I have a feeling they have picked medium tyres, which would only benefit us to a certain degree. While yes, they are catching up, they're going to have to pit far sooner than ourselves. And I think medium tyres will last about 12 or 13 minutes here. Hard tyres, you just about get 20 out of them. And soft tyres, you probably get about 8 minutes in total. I mean, Lajota has a penalty as well, 0.003 of a second. And we are also bettering our best lap time. So it'd be kind of nice to get into the 144s, but we still have 32 minutes and 8 seconds to do so, which is plenty of time to try and better our lap time. I mean, we're not doing too bad. Position 4. I mean, we did have the start of the race chaos where we destroyed that blue Porsche. I think it's the same blue Porsche we just overtook a minute ago. Coming out the other side, we was in P6, down to P5, P4, and then P4 got wrecked by Danny R6, didn't they? And we're holding on to P4. I mean, LMP is long gone. They're negligible in this race. They're that quick. It's insane, really. Position 2, I'm not too sure where they are, and P3 being 13 seconds ahead. It'd be kind of nice to reel them in. There is a question that has been boggling my mind. Are you better off fueling up for the stint of what you're planning on doing through the race, or are you better off running full to empty and then topping it up towards the end? Be kind of interested to know what you guys think about that. I've started with a full tank and just working my way through it, but pitting and fueling here is relatively quick to a certain degree. There we go, the Jota has gone into the pits, gives us a really nice bit of breathing space. 4.7 seconds to be exact, as TM Nightshade has claimed that position, but they are rocking 0.026 mile penalty, which could mean anything, to be honest. Would be nice to still have a certain degree of time penalty or understanding of how long that is in time. I'd probably guesstimate about a second, maybe a second and a half. So we did manage to claim position 3. Flash behind was the person in P2, I believe. Thing is, it's our turn to also pit. Coming up to the end of this second stint, 21 minutes of the race remaining. Timing could not be any better. We are getting caught up by a couple of Proto H cars from behind. They do seem to be heavily battling, so hopefully we won't get tangled into anything. But I can see what's going on in the rearview mirror. Do not want to be overtaken on the bus stop moment. Hopefully they get past us before we even get there. They are battling heavily. I think the red car is semi-blocking the other car, by the looks of it in the rearview mirror there. And that's Super Hornet. Yep, braking at the crane on the left hand side. Chaos is unfolding up in front. And one tragic victim in the wall. That's actually quite distracting to watch. At least we go into the pits in any moment, and we have 10 seconds away, well 9 seconds now from Flash behind. Just come to my mind thinking it could actually be Flacer and not Flash. So if I got it wrong, my apologies, buddy. Let's get ourselves a fresh set of rubbers. That could have sounded a lot better. Let's get a fresh set of tyres. Drop of fuel out the other side in position 7. How? I guess other cars are on a different strategy. I mean, if I extended both stints to pretty much the maximum, then those cars up in front must have pretty ruined tyres. Unless this BMW is a tyre hungry machine, but I very much doubt that. Again, everything's just swings and roundabouts. We still have 20 minutes of this race remaining. And I think the sun's coming up, which is nice. It has been one epic race, and it's so nice to see an joint series back again. And a plan of action working out. Stopping twice for a set of hard tyres. Couldn't be any luckier to have a plan of action that actually worked. Wow, what a beautiful sky. What a lovely sunrise. Gotta give it credit where credit's due. You know how to make a sunrise and sunset. And what is not ideal is getting rear-ended from the Proto H car behind. Do realise I need to brake as I enter this section. Please don't give me a penalty. Thank you, ever so lucky. I don't understand it. I mean, why get right up the rear end of the car? You know you're coming to a braking zone. Either move out of the way or brake yourself. Don't destroy someone else's race. Not like poor Just Jay that got absolutely wrecked as well. One thing I would like to be able to still control, lights. I would have actually left them on a bit longer. Well, yes, you can see the track perfectly. An extra bit of light is still an extra bit of light to see the track. And as well as when the dust comes in, a bit of light to be able to see before the sun sets, just to lighten up the darker parts of the track. As the sun is glaring in your eyes, a bit of light on the floor would help out tremendously. I mean, that sunrise in your retinas there does burn, and it does make it quite difficult to see the track, especially at this camera view. Thing is, we're still waiting for the Jota to pit up in front, who is 5.2 seconds away, and slowly reel them in. We also need to make sure that we can keep our good time away from Comet behind, who is 7 seconds behind us. I mean, thankfully, Logitech did pit. I was getting overly concerned that they wasn't going to pit. Thing is, Flash, they're going to have to pit, aren't they? Because they had 17 minutes of the race remaining, and they were on those tyres beforehand, so don't know why you're worried, buddy. Thankfully, though, we're now in position 4, 10 seconds away from position 5 behind, getting a great bit of time away from, whilst they are also carrying a nice penalty. Sun rises pretty quickly, as you see by the light change. Sky is beautifully blue, no rain on the weather forecast. Sadly, variable weather still doesn't exist back in this title. It would be kind of nice, actually, to have a bit of nighttime rain or morning rain, maybe. I'll just change it up a little bit. 10 minutes of this race remaining, 12 seconds away from the car behind, and not really made any ground up on Speedy Wombat, who's in position 3. Getting very close to the track limits there, Flash, as we're going through the bus stop. Great to see that you managed to do 51 minutes of the race and not getting a penalty just yet. Flash, or Flacer, is in the pits in P3. That's great news. It depends on what time actually they went into the pits, really. I'm trying to look at the map at the moment. I think they're coming out of the pits. Not ideal. Trying to hold them off for 10 minutes ain't gonna be easy, and I don't think it's gonna work, because there they are, coming out the pits right there. They're only going to be about 3 or 4 seconds behind us as we get past. Yeah, I think P4 is semi-sealed in the bag. I'm just going to move over to the left and try and let this Proto H car get past. Come on, buddy, get through there. Out to the side, drag me along with you. I need a bit of slipstream to try and get away from Flacer behind, who's 1.8 seconds away. More than likely going to be on soft tyres, so they are going to be very quick compared to us, and I don't think holding them off is going to be an actual ideal tactic, not for 8 minutes or 30 seconds. It's going to be difficult unless they have a crash. That would be an opportunity moment, but I don't think that's going to be the case. It did take them a lap to catch up to us. What that car does better in the cornering department doesn't do in top speed. As you can see, they're looking to make a move there and pretty much ran out of steam. So yeah, a little bit sketchy, could be a netcode issue, but they also have a Proto H car coming in, so I'm just going to brake and pretty much get, oh crap. I was watching the Proto H car go past and making sure that we all go through in one piece. I wasn't aware of braking zone coming up very quickly. It is what it is. 1.7, 1.8 seconds away from Placer. Like I say, battling them for another 5 minutes could have been possible to a certain degree. I would have risked probably being punted off, to be honest. Again, trust issues with other people, and I could understand it as well. You know, if you're defending to a certain degree and they may construe it as blocking, you know, everybody's opinion is different, and getting a Proto H car right up behind us again, we're gonna choose a side, let them pick the other one, and that is that position gain. There's Super Hornet again. There we go. Yeah, that's a really crucial thing, though. If you're gonna be getting lapped by much faster cars, once they're right behind you, pick a side and stay to that side. It's them to pass you safely, but you've also got to be predictable to a certain degree, so don't hover in the middle, because they're not too sure where you're going to go, and don't weave. Just pick a side like I am now, pick left, they're going to go up the right hand side, and which pretty much tuck in behind them and try and reek off their slipstream. Is that just Jay? 12 seconds away. I thought they quit because they fell off the leaderboard so quickly. No way. They actually stayed in the race. Get on, buddy. Commitment right there, mate. Get 10 points for that. Absolutely brilliant. That's great to see, actually. Although they got absolutely wrecked. Like I say, they fell off the leaderboard. I thought they quit the race, sadly. Clearly not the case, and I was mistaken, so apologise for that, Jay. But yeah, it's great to see you back in the race. Yeah, that's shocked me, really. So's the colour in that car. Sadly, I think we're pretty much settled for P4, which is really ideal. I'm not going to get me wrong. It would be nice if a car in front had to pit as well. I mean, our tyres are now onto minor wear. Kind of shocked about that, really, because we have 2 minutes of this lap or stint remaining, and I would have presumed the tyres probably lasted a little bit longer than that. It seems to be that this last stint has eaten up more of the tyres than the previous stints. Yeah, it is what it is. But everything rubbered in, I can understand to a certain degree, probably pushing the car a little bit harder, or probably getting a bit sloppier as well, with fatigue and things like that. I'm not too sure. But thankfully though, all the Proto H cars have managed to pass us, so we should be in for a clear run towards the end and not have to worry about moving out of the way for other cars or them slowing us down in certain scenarios, as well as us holding them up. Because if they're battling with somebody, they're going to get a little bit desperate towards the end, and that's where mistakes happen. And we're one accident away from losing this position. 12.5 seconds isn't a lot when you crash. LMP though, 70 seconds ahead. It's just in a league of their own. I don't know how they managed that. That's insane. Like, insanely quick. It's unreal. Bear in mind, they've pitted one more than we have, so they've got another 40 seconds on that if you're taking the pit times. You know, it's crazy. It really is crazy. And I wonder where P2 is, how far away from them they are. Maybe LMP should have picked a Proto H car, not a GT3 car. What was that light change, Forza? Did the sun just like forget to turn a switch on? Oh yeah, I got an extra bulb in here. Look at this today, guys. I don't get it. I don't get it. But 20 seconds of this race remaining. Done 34 laps, 120 miles almost. Tyres are coming into an end of their life, about to hit onto moderate wear. There's a car coming out of the pits. I don't know what to say. That was the purple one as well. Anyway, thank you all for watching.